So I'm out here today at Fred Howard Park, and I'm going to be showing you around some other parts of Tarpon Springs, because as Tampa continues to grow and expand and inventory is low, you got to look for other alternatives. Now, I'm going to tell you, Tarpon Springs is pretty cool because you've got not only two beaches, but you're surrounded by a bunch of bayous. You've got a ton of water opportunities if you're a boater, and the houses are a little bit more affordable than some of the houses in Tampa right now, and you might even be able to get some waterfront property. So today we're going to be talking about moving to Tarpon Springs, and I'm going to give you my pros and cons. Let's get after it right now. Hey everybody, I'm Emily. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in Florida, and I live in the Tampa-St. Pete area. And my channel is pretty much dedicated to the real estate market in the central west coast of Florida and everything that we love to do here in Florida. So if that resonates with you, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And as always, don't forget, if you are interested in relocating to the Tampa-St. Pete market, the central west coast, I'm your girl. But I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. All my links are below. Would love to hear from you, and just you can shoot me an email, a text, or jump on my calendar for a 30-minute consultation. So you guys have to bear with me. See those dark clouds behind me? We're chasing the rain today. We've had nothing but beautiful hot weather here. It is definitely summer here, and you can hear the seagulls around. It's really great.
Mine.
This is one of my favorite parks that I used to frequent as a kid growing up in Tampa. We'd come out here to Fred Howard Park and hang out and that sort of thing, and it hasn't changed much. I'm going to show you around here a little bit, but before we kind of go into a little bit more of the heart of Tarpon Springs and all the different things that Tarpon Springs has to offer, I wanted to give you a little bit of the current stats. So I started to do a little research on the area. I've got a couple of clients that have been interested in the Tarpon Springs as an alternative. And what I noticed was the median house price is up 14% from last year, 2022. We're now in the summertime of 2023. So that means the housing price is $400,000 where it used to be, gosh, in the threes, 350. So it's up 14%, but I'm gonna tell you what, I've been noticing prices drop. And within my research, I also noticed that 72% of the houses sold went for under ask. So that still tells me that prices are a little too high right now. So there is some room to negotiate. That's something that you and I would talk about. You talk about with your agent as well. Also, the houses are staying on the market a little bit longer, which would make sense that some of the houses, that 72% of the houses that are being sold are going for under ask. So people are taking their time. People are investigating the market a little bit more, getting educated. Smart thing to do right now. The Tampa market is still hot, and we still have very, very low inventory. So I'm gonna tell you what's available on the MLS here in Tarpon. I'm gonna give you some price points, but I also wanna just show you around a little bit. So again, I love Fred Howard Beach. It's a great alternative if you don't want to go down to Clearwater, which honestly I don't recommend, especially during summer months. It's just way too crowded. But you see this beach, I mean, it's during the week here. It's very quiet. It's very peaceful. It's got a long kind of causeway in order to get to this beach, and it sits in the Gulf. So again, you're gonna get the great water temperatures. You're gonna get the calm waters of the west coast of Florida. And yeah, really great. And we also have Sunset Beach, which I'm going to try to show you as well. So let's keep moving. So I made my way to Sunset Beach. I just wanted to show you a little bit of it. It's a smaller beach. It's smaller than Fred Howard Park. But what's great about it is I'm hearing a lot of jet skis around. There's ramps for a boat. People have fishing gear. There's some families here just kind of hanging out. They've got facilities. They've got jungle gyms. They've got picnic tables. So it is a great family-friendly little beach if you're looking for something to do that is, again, not going down to Clearwater. It's also about a mile south of Fred Howard Park. So again, you've got two really great options that give you these Gulf views. Okay, it's really, really hot today, and I'm starting to lose my voice because I have a little cold, but I just wanted to get into the AC, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of what's available within this area near the Sunset Beach area. And I'm gonna drive us to a couple of neighborhoods so I can show you what these neighborhoods look like, but I wanna just show you what is available. Okay, so by the way, this is off of my app that I have. When you work with me, I give you access to my MLS app so that you can do your own research. But see that blue dot? That is Sunset Beach. And you can see, obviously there's some really large, properties, or I should say high-priced properties. You can see there's a 1 million right there on the Wickham Bayou, which is really beautiful, but there's also a 380K, there's a 595. So you see, just like Tampa, a lot of these prices are all over the place, but there is a possibility to get some waterfront property in the Tarpon area in a lower price point. Now, if you go more inland, you're gonna see those prices go down a little bit more, right? And there, you see there's a Walmart and a TJ Maxx, so there's more shopping inland. So this is also one house I wanted to point out. As you can see, they've got their garage downstairs, and most of the time that's gonna be brick. Most of the time that first level is always gonna be brick, so that helps you with your flooding. But over here, and down this street, I'm gonna show you as well. But right behind me here, you see this house on stilts? Yeah. So they do that on purpose. Again, that's for, you see that down in Key West as well. You're gonna see this style because it's also trying to accommodate potential flooding. So it's a very good thing. So some of these houses, it's really important when you're looking in Tarpon Springs, you check out the flood zone map, you check out the elevation of the house, and you make sure you know if there has been any history of flooding in that house. They have to disclose that to you. But I wanted to show you these houses because they're really, really pretty. So again, having that garage on the bottom and then the main living upstairs. That's gonna help you with the flooding. All right, let's keep moving. Okay, so the house I just showed you on Ventnor, that's a 1977 house. And it's also very common to see houses like that are up on stilts. I'm gonna get out in a minute and show you the house that is also in this neighborhood because you're so close to the Gulf. This area of Tarpon Springs can flood. And so you do have to watch your flood zones, and you might want to go more inland if that's a concern. But some of these houses that have been sort of, renovated, they have actually leveled the old houses and put them on stilts to accommodate any sort of flooding. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna focus on this area right here where that 575 is. I'm gonna take us to that neighborhood. I wanna take you a little bit around some of these bayous and show you just a little bit, as much as I can, of these neighborhoods. We might even go down here a little bit. So there are some really great opportunities within the area to get you what you need within your price point. There's even that 459 right there. So we might go check that one out too. Okay, so this is the house we're about to look at. And it's right like 4 minutes from that Sunset Beach area. It's a 3-3, it's 674, and it looks really nice. And I wanted to show you some of the neighborhood as well. Okay, so this property is 575. It's a 4-2, 2115 square feet. It's been on the market a while. It's right there near the bayou. Hopefully you can see that without too much glare. Not a bad little house. I'll show you, this is what the front looks like. Now, just for reference, in Tampa, you can't get a house under 2,000 square feet, a 4-2, at under 600,000. So this house right behind me, on the market for 575, and right across the street is the bayou. And this whole street, there are lots of houses that look completely different. So even the house next door, it looks like it was completely, there it is, completely redone. And this whole street is beautiful. It winds around, but this bayou, I'm gonna take you around it as much as I can and kind of show you what I'm talking about, but it has a really cool feel. But all the houses look different. They're all different ages, and it just depends on when they were starting to get, renovated. So again, I think Tarpon's a great option if you're looking to get a little bit bigger house, a little bit more affordability in a really cool area that's got water. All right, let's keep moving. So again, trying to keep my voice going here for a little bit longer. So Tarpon Springs was founded again in like 1887, and it started to get its boom around the same time that Tampa did. Also, Tarpon is known for a lot of Greek heritage because a lot of people from Greece, there's a very specific island that I can't say the name of because I always say it wrong. They migrated to Tarpon Springs and really sort of took over that area, and so it was predominantly Greek. And to this day, you're going to see that a lot of people still speak Greek. There's a lot of Greek Orthodox churches, and there's, again, a lot of Greek food, and some of the old Greek old-timers are still playing bingo and cards and all that kind of stuff, and they don't speak a lick of English. There's also what's called the Epiphany Festival, and that is where the priest throws the cross into the water, and the Greek boys dive for it. And I think the boy that won it this year, he's from, he's like the third generation winner. I'm not really clear on the significance of all of that, but it is quite an experience to witness, and it's always on our news. So anyway, we're gonna head over to the sponge docks here in a minute, and I just wanna kind of give you a brief overview. It's a small little area. We still, dive for sponges, and we do sell them. They are alive when you do get them. So, these days, most sponges are made synthetically, but if you wanted a natural sponge, you could definitely get that at Tarpon Springs. And again, all the religious artifacts for the Greek Orthodox Church. And again, you're going to get that authentic Greek food in the Greek bakeries. So it's a fun little downtown that you can walk around with family and friends and definitely entertain people. But you're also near a lot of water. So you have some little freshwater inlets, and you have some bayous and all that stuff and all feeds out to the Gulf. Now, some of the bayous, one bayou has a spring in it, and that feeds into Lake Tarpon. Lake Tarpon is 2,000 acres plus of lake, which is, yes, there's gators in it, and people do swim in it, and they do jet ski in it, and they fish in it. So you have that right in your back door as well. So if you're a boater, if you love the water life, if you like sort of that marina life as well, but with an old school charm, this town is very eclectic. It is very kind of quirky, and it's a small town. So if you want to be a little bit away from the hustle and bustle of downtown Tampa, or just Tampa in general and that suburban life, you can have that in Tarpon Springs. And you're still just, my mother lives in East Lake, which is not far from that area, and it was 20 minutes to get up here. So I would say to get to the Tampa airport, you're still looking at like 45 minutes. And to get even to St. Pete, I would say another 45 minutes. So you do have to travel if you want to go to Tampa or St. Pete, but you're not that far from Clearwater, and you're definitely not far from Palm Harbor or Dunedin. And Dunedin's got one of my favorite beaches, which is Honeymoon Island. So you have a ton of options, but you're not gonna, have that sticker shock like you are in the beach areas that are south of here. So do your research, take a look at the market. If you're looking for this kind of area, talk to me, talk to your agent, and let's start watching and see if we can find you a house over here, because I do think it's a really lovely place, especially to raise children, good schools, really great community vibe. So Tarpon Springs, put it on your list. I just realized I didn't really go through the pros and the cons, so I just get excited to show you guys areas, and I discover things when I'm showing them to you as well. So obviously the pros are affordability and that small town feel. That can also be a con if you're not into that. There is, again, there's going to be a con would be that you are going to probably be in a flood zone unless you go more inland. I would say another con is that there's not a ton to do as far as nightlife. So if you're a young professional, I'm not sure this would be the spot for you. But I know close by is Newport Richey, and they're starting to revamp their downtown. So it's got a lot of cute, quaint things that I think are going to appeal to some people, that they're going to consider those pros. And I think there's going to be a group of people that would consider all of that a con. So it's really going to depend on what you're looking for and what kind of environment you want to live in. If you've got a young family and you want to raise them somewhere where you can bike on the sidewalks and push a stroller on the sidewalk and go to some parks and go to some beaches and go to quaint little areas and little markets, Tarpon Springs is a really great area for that. But if you're looking for a little bit more hustle and bustle, closer to the airport, closer to Tampa, closer to St. Pete, all of that, you're not. You're definitely north. You're north of Palm Harbor. So you're going to be going into more of a rural area. And these houses haven't all been renovated. So the con would be, depending on what you're looking to do with your money, are you looking to put a little money into renovating it yourself and giving it your own kind of twist? Then you have that opportunity here. Not all of the homes are as renovated here in Tarpon as they are, say, in Tampa and St. Pete. St. Pete's a little bit ahead of Tarpon, I'm going to say, but I'm noticing Tarpon is starting to catch up. So pros, cons, it's just going to matter, what's important to you. If I think of more, I'll let you know. And something else you're going to notice with some of my footage of the neighborhood, you're going to see that you can't park RVs, boats, that sort of thing. So it is an unincorporated area. So if you are looking to be able to have that flexibility and you don't want HOAs, Tarpon Springs has that. Also, all the houses look different. I have not seen one house that looks the same. Some people have kept the cool architecture of an older home. Some people have leveled the old house and put a new house up. There's some houses on stilts. There's some houses that are still low. And again, I'm right here looking at another, waterfront piece of property. So there is an opportunity to get your needs met when it comes to waterfront property in Tarpon Springs. It's very, very cool. And so I have come to the end of my voice, I think. But I just wanted to say one last thing about, as you're more west towards the Gulf, you go a little bit more inland and you're going to be on US 19. And that is where most of the shopping's going to be. So right now, I'm parked in a big shopping center and they've got the Walmarts and the Publix and the Petcos and the TJ Maxx and all that kind of stuff. Up and down US 19, it's not pretty, but that's where all your shopping's going to be, your automotive stuff, your fast food restaurants, maybe a couple of other little interesting restaurants. But when you get into the heart of Tarpon Springs, you want to stay towards the water. When you're staying more towards the water, that's where you're going to find those cool little Greek restaurants and those little sponge dock stores where you're going to get the fresh sponges and all the fun kind of touristy stuff. But it's really, really cool. You definitely want to come visit this part of Tampa and check it out for yourself and see if it's an area that you think you might want to live in. I think it's pretty quaint. Well, guys, I think that does it for Tarpon Springs, pros and cons. So I hope this was a helpful video. Again, don't forget to comment below. Love to hear what you have to add or if you have any questions. And as always, if you're looking to relocate or sell, list, or invest in the Tampa St. Pete market, I'm your girl. So I'd love to hear from you. Reach out to me and let's get a conversation going. And until next time, everybody, I'll see you around.